aspirations, but I was able to do it with a lot of people's help.
Yes. Thank you. May tanong dito. Please introduce yourself.
Yes, congratulations once again, and thank you for your generosity in sharing your blessings with your coaching staff. Relative to your training, during the last week's tribute Chiang Kai-shek, you said you had 4 training camps that you intend to prepare. How could you give us a relative time frame where each training camp will be held? Not necessarily the venue, but the time frame before going to Paris.
So the plan is in December because in Formia it rains a lot, so we decide to go somewhere else at a time, considering that Formia also doesn't have a indoor facility specifically for track and field. Then early next year there's going to be a few camps for indoors to prepare for the World Indoor Championship in March. Then after that we're going somewhere else where the conditions are very optimal for us to test new stuff, and that will be around April. Then the last one is a pre-camp going to Paris.
Which would be around what month?
That would be, I would guess, like 2-3 weeks before Paris.
Within the, I surmise it will be also within the French capital, at least for acclimatization. Well, I know some of the facilities there, but as you said, will not tip our hand para naman makakuha ka ng first dibs dun sa mga training camps na yun.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Please introduce yourself before your question.
Good morning, Criza Lopez from Your TV. Sir EJ, next year, babiyahe ka naman papuntang Paris for Paris Olympic. Ano yung ine-expect mo dito sa Paris Olympic at ano yung pinagkaiba nito na preparation mo doon sa nakaraang Tokyo Olympic?
I think wala akong expectations. I have more aspirations, I would say. Going to Paris, I know I'm currently world number 2, therefore I'm, one of the favorites in the podium. All I'm thinking about is being able to perform at my best when it comes that day. I think that's all I could ask for, that's all I'm aiming for. And by the time, when we're in the field, we're going to aim for that gold.
Another question. Ano naman yung pakiramdam ng pagtanggap sa iyo ng mga Chinese fans nung nasa China?
Especially you have a competitor also from China now.
Yeah, to be honest, the Chinese guy that I was there, he's really a good buddy of mine. He's a really good friend. Last year when I went to the US, I got hold for pretty much, he waited 12 hours. That guy has been having my back ever since, and we've been really good buddies, and we've been training. I think it's been announced now, the whole podium of the Asian Games trains under one coach. The single similarity of all 1, 2, 3 podium finishes in that meet is my coach. So we're training buddies, iron sharpen iron, and I'm very happy to be able to train with such incredible athletes.
Ang tanong niya pala, what is your reaction to the audience, 80,000 cheering you, even though you're from the Philippines?
Well,
how was your reaction?
I was definitely opposite to what I've expected. I was expecting boosts, especially if I would go toe-to-toe against with the Chinese team. There's 80,000 of them there. There's a few thousand people, few hundreds even, maybe Filipinos. I was expecting a loud and roaring boo, but totally opposite. It's a lot of cheers, a lot of good positive energy, and for a moment in time, I think it was not about Chinese or Filipino. It was the whole Asia watching the best of Asian athletes compete, and I think that unifies the whole continent.
Thank you.
Yes.
May tanong din pala dito. We have some entertainment editors here. Baka they have a few questions. May tanong ba? May tanong ba doon?
Hi, Andrea Taguines from ABS-CBN News. EJ mentioned in an Instagram post how despite everything that you went through nga na mentioned kanina with government officials, you really never thought of representing any other country. And can you talk more about that and how important sports is for nation building?
First of all, I just want to generalize government officials. There's different entities and different things and association and NGOs that governs the sport. Sorry, your question again, please?
You talked about how despite everything that happened, you didn't want, it never crossed your mind to represent another country, even if there were some countries that were trying to recruit you, and how important is that you stuck with the Philippines and you really said how important sports is for nation building?
I think I need to go back to my roots to understand why I chose to represent Philippines, and decided to stick with it even though it's probably not the most decision that would make sense for me at that time. As I said, I grew up here. I remember my mom and me walking around the streets and, getting signatures for my scholarship back in high school. And this is what made me me. Being a Filipino, growing up in Tondo, commuting and achieve every single day, 7 a.m., made me who I am. So the reason why I've achieved what I've achieved is the people who stick with me, raised me, the community that I grew up with, definitely made me a little bit tougher. And all I always say when my coach knows that I'm tired and he keeps telling me, hey, how can you keep going? I just said, I'm a Filipino. I grew up in worse things. This is not the worst thing in life. I mean, I'm not very privileged growing up, so I guess I'm built a little bit tougher.
Thank you.
Congratulations again.
May
Thank
tanong on this side, may isang tanong. Yes. May microphone na, parating na. Yes.
Thank you. So, EJ Ivan from the Philippines, you mentioned already about your good buddy, Wang Bokay, and I saw during the TV broadcast that he was so disappointed that he had to settle for the silver. So, what did you tell him after the event?
I don't know if I could tell the whole reason why he was disappointed. There's also, as I said, there's a lot of different people governing sport, and in every country there's different problems and different issues. All I can say is he wanted to jump higher, and I truly believe he could. His season's best is 575, and when he jumped that, we truly believe he could jump at 80, 85. That's why going into the meet, I know I need to jump higher, and I know that it was not a walk in the park. So the disappointment that he had there, it just showed how hungry he is to improve. And I'm very, happy and proud that I'm training with someone that want to go, you want to go a little bit better, want to focus, and I want to surround myself with people who are like that. And all those 3 people there in that podium, they're not satisfied with what they've jumped. That's why we keep progressing, we keep moving forward, because everybody wants to be better. Each day, every day. And we understand that for us to be better, we need to, go to toe to toe and sharpen, as I said, iron sharpens iron.
So, do you see Bokay and the other guy as threats as well for your Olympic goal, aside from Mondo?
I don't see them as threats. I see them as friends. And I see them as my training partner. And as I said, when he was disappointed, he explained to me why he started tearing up, and there's a couple of mistakes that he did. And I don't know if you watched the whole thing. I was checking his mark, he was checking mine, and we're helping each other out. And I think that camaraderie, that respect to each other, and being able to empower each and everyone to do our best, I think that's what makes me see them as friends more than any threat.
Thank you very much.
Time's up.
Yes,
Because I promised them to walk.
Yes, before we finish, there's an editor who would like to give you a letter because they want to give Dr. Pedro an award. Mr. Eugene Assis, can you come forward and present the letter? He is the president of the Society of Philippine Entertainment Editors. He would like to give you an award, not today, but a letter for an award.
Oh, today is for EJ, not for me.
Yes. Mamaya pag-picture sa'yo.
Picture?
EJ.
Mamaya, sige.
With EJ.
So,
Yes. Pero may tanong siya, di ba tanong mo kung ano na lang dapat?
you have your mic.
Yes.
Anong tanong niyo?